This episode is brought to you by Indie Film Hustle Academy, where filmmakers and screenwriters go to learn from top Hollywood industry professionals. Learn more at ifhacademy.com. Your next film was a bit of an upgrade from the $8,000, which was Narc. Because I remember there's just a lot of stuff swirling around Narc. I remember when Narc came out. And because it was then, and during that time, we were still like, it was on the tail end of the whole Sundance kind of craze, which was when Tarantino and Rodriguez and Smith and Linkletter and Spike and Singleton, all these guys were coming up. So you were on the tail end of that, like in '98 with Octane, and then Narc came out. And Narc exploded onto the scene. I remember people were like talking about it left and right, like, oh my God, this is like revelation. This is the next big thing. And I will get to that part, but man, I heard other stories about like the making of it and the money behind it and a lot of craziness. Can you go into that a little bit?
Dude, and this is the way that a lot of these independent films are financed. They're very, anytime there's millions of dollars, you're going to have people in there that want to siphon off a certain amount of that. And it's like the skim in a casino, it just is. And if you think that you're dealing with, these honorable sorts across the board, you're dead wrong. You're not. You're dealing oftentimes. I mean, one of the guys on there was like literally gone to prison. He may have been like, I think at one point he was like trying to reach out for me from like the Baker Denver Row cell block, whatever the hell it was. It was like, wait, what? This guy's, so it was and I remember, we'd say to it's like, hey man, we didn't get the wire. And it's like, okay, we'll send it. We just got to find the number. And then they'd call us back and go, oh, we can't remember which bank we made the wire with. And I'm like, guys, you're doing the adult version of My Dog Ate My Homework. This shit isn't funny. We've got a crew we have to pay. And we're in Toronto in like the dead of winter. And I remember walking onto a set one day, this kind of really run down little 1-bedroom apartment. I remember walked in, and there's the production manager, and I turn the corner, I hear him say, I don't know when you're going to get paid again. I don't know if you're ever going to get paid again. And this is 7 a.m., before we shot any, and I just decided the best way to deal with the situation was just to take the bull by the horns and say, guys, listen, we're dealing with disreputable people and people that are kind of sleazy. And you have mortgages and you have, car payments and you have kids to feed. I can't tell you how to do that. If the money's not here by the end of the day, you should walk. I would. And I think for whatever that was worth, it galvanized them for a moment, and they understood our plight, and they hung in there. But dude, it was a movie that could have very easily kind of disappeared and just been this cool little, but I remember going to the Eccles Theater, which is still the best screening I've ever had of a movie. And it just went through the roof. And I remember right after that, they took myself and Ray and Jason Patrick up to the Main Street of Park City and put us on CNN Live. It was great, right? And I thought, okay, that was something happened. And then, kind of post that, coming back, Lionsgate, Tom Ortenberg, who I'd made 3 films with, who picked up Blood Guts, it started this whole, there's like, the Bel Air screening circuit is basically a euphemism for rich people that have theaters in their homes. And so I started meeting all my heroes, Dustin Hoffman, and I remember just meeting everybody, all these great, And one night I'm having dinner with Ortenberg and Jason Patrick. We look up and Warren Beatty's standing there. He just came down to like Banderas on Barrington and Wilshire just to hang out and talk about the movie. And it was just this crazy. And then, I get the call that, Tom Cruise has seen the film and he wants to meet you. And I go to Cruise Wagner. I'll never forget it, dude. And I'm in the conference room, and I didn't realize the main entrance had a little latch-style lock, and it was locked. And suddenly the door just starts trembling, like shaking, and then just pulls open. The lock flies off, and there's Tom Cruise. And we start talking. He goes, he was dating Penelope Cruz at the time. And he goes, listen, she had a family member that had I knew she walked out of the movie. She covered her eyes and left the film. And he goes, I knew it was as good as I thought, I knew it was great. I knew it was a great movie right there because she couldn't bear it. And then, dude, listen, he got that film a tremendous amount of notoriety and attention, and really rescued it from being, it could have just been this little $3 million indie that, was cool and disappeared. And he really made it kind of bigger than the sum of its parts. And for that, I'll always be grateful to him for doing that. You know?
Yeah, and that's not something that Tom does very often. Like he hasn't like shepherd an indie, or, an independent or a very much lower budget non-studio film like that. I don't remember. He might have done a couple here and there, but I don't remember him doing that. It's not what he does.
Yeah, no, he was really. It was something else, man. It was something else to kind of. I don't think I was aware of how extraordinary that was. For me to experience, and only now as a much older guy, I go, you dumbass. It's like, you idiot. Like, you 31-year-old jerk off. He didn't really know what the fuck was going on. It's like, by the way, please shut up. If I could time travel, if I had Doc Brown in a fucking DeLorean, I'd go back and slap the shit out of myself. Shut the fuck up. Not everybody needs to know what's on your mind, bro. Shut up and lose 25 pounds. That's what I'd say to myself.
Because I'm feeling it now, you fat.
Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah, everything's your pain in the ass, dude. Nobody likes you. Shut the fuck up. No, it was remarkable, brother. It was one of those like just kind of amazing moments in time. And the movie came out, the movie did what it did. It was obviously it was successful insofar as it was one of those movies that Paramount put Oscar money behind it and did a campaign for Ray, did a campaign for the screenplay, did a campaign. It was great, dude. It was really something else.